and welcome back to my channel, and today I have another review that I am very excited to give, and we are going to be going over the Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette. I am honestly getting some serious awesome Willy Wonka, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory vibes from this palette. The packaging is to die for. Now, unlike their other chocolate bars, as well as the Clover palette, this is actually plastic, but it feels really heavy duty. It has this kind of just like clasp closure instead of that like flippy magnet, which I am also really okay with. It does extend all the way, as we can see, and you get a big old giant mirror. Hello! Overall, the construction of this palette is absolutely beautiful. It feels luxurious and amazing. The box as well is just absolutely stunning. If there is one thing that Too Faced knows how to do, it is create amazing packaging, and they honestly hit it out of the park with this. This palette is going to run you $49 like all of their other palettes this size. It is available to purchase on the TooFaced.com website, Ulta, and Sephora. And I am honestly not sure if this is a limited edition or not. I will obviously leave that down below with the link that I do, because I am lazy and don't do as much research on this stuff as I should. You are getting 14 shades that are 0.80 grams each, and you are getting 2 shades that are 1.80 grams each. And that is in the typical Too Faced style, with the 2 larger pans sort of vertical from each other, and then all of the little ones. Now, I do love the layout of this palette. You get 4 mattes right here, this really large one. You get a black, a kind of like a, you know, mid-tone crease shade, and then something to deepen it up, and then the rest are foiled, shimmered, shebang, whatever color is going on here. But let's get some swatches, and I'm going to talk to you about this palette. One thing I don't like about it is this beautiful like gold part here is really good at getting like fingerprints all over it, and I've already fingerprinted the crap out of it, so that is one thing. Instead of going like from side to side like I usually do, I'm actually going to do all of the mattes first for you guys, and then we'll go on with the shimmers. I will obviously let you know the names. We are going to start out with Rollin' in Dough, which is just this one right here. This one's probably just going to straight up disappear into my skin tone. There we have it right there. And then I'm going to do So Bougie right here, which is a shade that I used today. This is kind of my like setting my eye primer shade. It worked really, really well, and that swatch is really poopy, but the shadow worked really well for me. Then we have Cocoa Truffle, which is what I used to smoke everything out today. This shade is very, very pigmented, a little bit powdery, kind of like that Daddy's Heart Me shade from the Clover palette, but it is absolutely beautiful. And then last but not least for the mattes, we do have Decadent, which thankfully, it is not infused with glitter. It is just a straight up matte black, which was pretty good. I think this is actually one of the superior matte blacks in Too Faced's whole like line. So I really think they have taken into consideration their formula and are actually fixing things. These mattes performed absolutely beautiful. I loved how they looked on my eye. I had no problem with pigmentation, blending. They just looked gorgeous on the eyes. Now we're going to start off in the metallic shades here. We're going to start off with this one that is Classy and Sassy. Now these shades are a little bit, they feel stiffer and grittier to the touch. They are less of a shimmer shade and really like a pressed pigment almost. I do recommend using a flat synthetic brush for these. Now I did take the gold and kind of put it here on my lips, and that worked pretty well. Then we're going to use Rich Girl here, which is what I have as my inner corner highlight. Once again, even though these all feel just a bit gritty and whatever, and they're definitely not a shadow that you're going to want to like blend out, it's more something you're going to want to pack on your lid. Then we have Famous right here, and then we'll also do Drippin' in Diamonds. I love the names of these. They are just so cool, and the aesthetic of this palette overall is beautiful. That Dripping in Diamond shades is like life. Can we see? This is like Juvia's Place level pigmentation, and I feel like this is what a lot of people kind of hoped the Glitter Bomb palette to be. Next up, we have Chocolate Gold here, which I do have on the inner part of my eye, and New Money, which I have on my under eye, lower the lash line going on there. The pink one isn't as metallic as the other shades as I would have hoped. It's more like just a pink shadow with a lot of rich glimmer and shimmer and glitter running through it, but it is still very beautiful. Then we have Livin' Lavish here, which is like this purple. And then we'll do Old Money and Gold Dipped. These all feel consistently the same, as I've been saying, a little rough to the touch, but the pigmentation is absolutely stunning on these. Let's see if we can, my shades always just whoop like that, but there we have those three shades right there. Then last but not least, I will swatch them on this hand over here. We have got Moneybags, Love and Cocoa, and Holler for a Dollar. Moneybags, out of all of these shades, feel the smoothest. It just doesn't have that same rough sandpaper-y texture going on here for it. These shades are just so, look at that. Oh, that would create a really pretty eye look, just those three shades themselves. So here we have the shades. You can see that for a Too Faced palette, honestly, the pigmentation on these are top notch. Okay, now let's talk about my experience using the palette. I'm going to say right off the bat that if you get any Too Faced holiday released palette, whether it's their usual like journal ones that they just churn out or actual palettes that I feel, this is the one to get. Skip on the Clover palette, which is kind of mid-range. Definitely skip on that white chocolate mess, which is the worst palette of the year, I think, and snag you this one. If the white chocolate bar palette had taken the quality of these mattes and put it into their shadows, it would be 110 times better. These shades alone are absolutely amazing, and you can do a look just using these to kind of just, you know, a kind of decent, you know, day look, and then it's time to like kick it up. Just grab out any of these. The pigmentation is absolutely stunning. However, for a lot of these, this is a formula that I would recommend either using a glitter glue, wetting your brush, or kind of a stickier, more linoleum. I don't even know what word I'm using. Just a stickier primer to really get the most insane pigmentation out of these. And to get that pigmentation is not a difficult thing. These are just absolutely stunning. I feel like this is what the Glitter Bomb palette should have been, because they are so rich and so pigmented. This palette was a dream to work with. Like, I started getting with these mattes and I was like, oh, I'm having a good time. This is great. And then we ducked into the shimmers and it was just absolutely amazing. If Too Faced put this kind of quality into all of their palettes, they would be like a top 5 brand in the industry, even though they probably already are. But consumerism, why, they would be really up there, because this just feels well thought out. It has a lot of good quality. I love the fact that even though this is like a all shimmer whatever palette, 90% of the shades are neutral. You do have some rich golds, but the pop of color is very minimal. You have this beautiful pink, the purple, the green, some kind of red toned golds, but all in all, this is very just neutral, and a lot of people would shy away from this kind of palette and be like, if it had those crazy shades in it, but it makes it so much more wearable and accessible to the everyday user. I just absolutely love this palette. I do recommend, if you get any holiday release that this is the one to get. I feel like out of all of the ones that I have reviewed, it just has the highest quality, the highest versatility. It is just an amazing palette, and I'm so glad that Too Faced finally created something for the holidays that makes me happy. So there we have that review, guys. Definitely let me know what you think down in the comments below, whether you have this palette and you like it or you don't like it. You guys know the drill. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and as always, keep it real. Mwah!